Hello, Week to Warriors. So here I have an excellent and potentially really useful video for you guys here today. If you can receive this video, if you can pay attention to the information I'm going to share with you and potentially implement that, if you have the means to implement that information. This is how to scale a business using strategic marketing strategies. You can do this for free. Right now, I'm going to use an example of a business like a cafe, for instance, and I'm going to show you how you could use these principles to scale a cafe, and maybe it's also just like an apothecary too, like it carries supplements and maybe some CBD type stuff. This would be a really great strategy for scaling that business, and this is one that I would implement. So what I would do is I would put up. First, what you want to do, you already have customers coming in. So they're coming in, and what you want to do is you want to capture their contact information some way so you can gain more information from them and understand their patterns. So give them the ability to give you an email address, opt in for a newsletter where you send coupons or something, or you announce sales, or you could put up a little flyer for a Facebook group, a little QR code on it, they scan it. They get brought to the Facebook group. They join the Facebook group. They have to answer some questions. One of those could be an email opt-in. There could also be opt-ins about, do you use CBD? Why do you use CBD? Other things like that. You could do various questions to get more information from the people and how to better serve them by providing them things that they would use and like. What you would also want to do is you want to construct the Facebook group in such a way that they're likely to interact, because you have a cafe. So, because we're looking at a cafe type of business, you would want the group to be somewhere people can interact, talk about things, and then you could encourage meetups through the group. People are already talking and making connections through the group. Hey, naturally, we'd love to come meet up at the cafe, and that could be a natural way that you could provide networking for a community. So you could think of yourself, instead of saying, I'm a cafe, I sell X, Y, and Z. Maybe not. I mean, you do also sell those things, but you also provide a meeting place for people. People love to meet at cafes, especially crunchy people or people who are into more esoteric ideas, similar to the apothecary type stuff. They would be very interested in meeting other like-minded people at the apothecary, especially, or the cafe, if they're already making connections with them in a Facebook group or something like that. From there, you'd want to gather more information, and I would do that through putting out content, getting engagement, and really like getting that engagement and getting more information. Like, why are people coming to the apothecary or the cafe? Like, what do they like about this? Why do people go to other cafes? Just looking into all these things, and then give people more of what they want. So people want to go to the cafe for just like a place to get X, Y, and Z. Well, if they want to go to the cafe for a place to get X, Y, and Z, you could offer a subscription service to get X, Y, and Z. So now, let's say someone comes in the cafe and gets a liter of X, Y, or Z every day of the week or something. Well, now you have a subscription service, and then that's consistent income. That's really good for you. And you just want to like monitor this stuff and start like packaging things up, and then you want to offer. So let's expand beyond the cafe model for a second, because we're just talking about a hypothetical cafe, so I have to make up information about how this is all going to go for the cafe. So I'm just going to give it generally and then talk about how it could apply to a cafe, a painting business, any number of different businesses. So you want to have a tiered business model. You want people to be able to buy things at multiple business levels. So let's say you have someone who comes into a cafe for a coffee. Well, they like coffee because the coffee gives them the energy, and they're coming into your cafe because you have organic coffee. Well, if you can also offer them another organic solution to energy, now you're selling them up one level. So now you're selling supplements or something. You could also notice, like, okay, well, do people like to come into the cafe to socialize? Okay, how can I encourage that socialization, and then maybe like host events at the cafe that people eventually would pay to come to, like little like dinners or something. And they could have people like come speak there, because like once they have a little audience built up, people would actually like to come speak at that cafe, and then you could have speakers come in, and now you have this whole you have like more of a network. And then when people come in, you then capture their information, put them in your mailing thing. You have a newsletter that sells. You have you're also constantly monitoring for what the group does. So let's say you have a large number of people who are into buying organic cotton. Now you're an organic cotton affiliate. Just an example. For a painting business, let's say you only do interior painting. Like we do interior painting. Maybe you have an upsell where the upsell actually with painting would be, you would want to, I think probably, actually, here'd be a good upsell. So let's say you're doing a painting business and you find that a lot of people are getting their houses painted before they sell them. Your upsell is, we paint your house, upsell, we do all the listing for you, make your house look awesome in the listing. Like we just make it look like bomb. And you do apartment buildings and you just go hard at presentation. So you have your entry service is like, hey, we'll paint for you. Someone's like, oh, you're painting for me. And they're like, yeah, we're painting for you. Oh, by the way, why do you need someone to paint for you? Oh, you're selling the place? That's crazy. No, it's not, because you already knew they were selling the place, because otherwise you wouldn't be there, because then you couldn't upsell them. But you're like, oh, that's crazy. What if we just did all the listing stuff for you? Or like you have your own sales process for that. But basically what you're doing in this new way of thinking about business, here's another one. So my uncle did bouncy houses. And this is one thing I was thinking about with my brother. And he would like deliver bouncy houses to people's houses. And he made a good amount of money in this business. But I was thinking like, what would I do if because I tried to do that business for a bit. And it just, the amount of hustle needed and like the consistency, it's a very hustle oriented business, and maybe it could succeed in his area, less so. I don't know. I mean, definitely require a lot of hustle. But the upset, the thing is, you're delivering the bouncy houses. There's a limit to how much you can scale, because at a certain point, your back's going to break because you have to carry these things. These things are huge, inflatable, jumping bouncy houses. You have to carry them from house to house to house for every rental. So at a certain point, you can't scale the business beyond a certain point, because people's backs are going to break, get to hire tons of people. There's managing people. So what you want to do is you want to create an upsell where you put out a bouncy, you do out little bouncy houses or something for little kids parties, the smallest bouncy house, the smallest thing you can. And you just use that to get people interested to then book an event with you at a field you rent out or something. We have a bunch of inflatable stuff, so there was no transport, so you can eliminate transportation costs. And now you just get every single person that comes in, it's just more money. And you basically have an amusement park at that point, but it's just a field you rent out. So these are just ideas I want to get you guys thinking about, how can I actually scale my business? Okay, I'm renting bouncy houses. What do people want with bouncies? They want entertainment. How can I provide them entertainment while removing the limiting factors that are preventing me from scaling? Well, if I remove transportation, now I don't have transportation. And then you just have marketing. So you just have to get the word out enough. And then you can have other smaller offers while you're getting your bigger offers selling. But the real goal is just sell bigger and bigger and bigger offers for more and more ridiculous sums of money. So you're doing less for more money. And the best people to qualify to sell those things to are previous customers. And you find that out by talking to them about why they're already buying what they're buying from you. Done. Subscribe for more epic tips.